Hello everybody, this is Pavani Tushara Garapati and I'll take the presentation forward for you. Further epidemiological research should have the ability to explain why certain outcomes occur, such as neurosyphilis, and be able to explain the disease condition in correlation to other comorbid factors such as HIV. Only when all the aspects of the disease condition are researched thoroughly can we think of methods to put these problems under check. Community-based participatory research, known as CBPR, is a framework epidemiologists can apply to their studies in order to gain a better understanding of the social context in which disease outcomes occur, while involving community partners in the research process and make sure the involvement is part of the research itself. CBPR promotes the field's ability to study and understand the complexity of the nature of the disease and its outcomes. Spatial analysis of health data could be another area to focus on in epidemiological research. It is a key element in understanding the distribution of the disease based on human behaviors and other factors. This type of analysis gives an insight into the areas that have a scope for improvement based upon which further policies can be developed. For example, based on spatial analysis, geographic locations with higher rates of morbidity and mortality can be analyzed, and further policies can be developed targeting specific populations. When the policies are made targeting smaller sections of the society, it becomes easier to monitor and check for results, thereby maximizing the effectiveness of the outcomes. Some of the epidemiological terms used in the paper are as follows. Morbidity and mortality. Morbidity designates illness and the rate of disease in a population, whereas mortality refers to death and is a state of condition of being subject to death. Levels of prevention. Primary, secondary, and tertiary preventions are three terms that map out the range of interventions available to health experts. Primary prevention aims to prevent disease or injury before it even occurs. Secondary prevention aims to reduce the impact of a disease or injury that has already occurred. Tertiary prevention aims to soften the impact of an ongoing illness or injury that has lasting effects. An epidemic and endemic. Epidemic is defined as a widespread occurrence of an infectious disease in a community at a particular time. Endemic is defined as a disease or condition regularly found among particular people or in a certain area. CBPR. It is a partnership approach to research that equitably involves, for example, community members, organizational representatives, and researchers in all aspects of the research process, and in which all partners contribute expertise and shared decision-making and ownership. The aim of CBPR is to increase knowledge and understanding of a given phenomenon and integrate the knowledge gained with interventions and policy and social change to improve the health and quality of life of community members. Spatial analysis. Spatial analysis is a type of geographical analysis which seeks to explain patterns of human behavior and its spatial expression in terms of mathematics and geometry, that is, locational analysis. In the primary and secondary syphilis rates of reported cases by race ethnicity in the United States, we can see that the blacks have had a higher rate of occurrence when compared to other ethnicities, followed by the NHOPI. If we look at the distribution of cases by sex and sexual behavior, we can see that men who have sex with only men are contributing to 54% of the cases, which is phenomenal. We have a pictographic representation of the rates of reported cases by the state in the United States. In this graph, we can see that there is a huge difference in the rate of occurrence of syphilis between homosexual and heterosexual behaviors. And also, the trend seems to be rising among gay and bisexual men. Based on the numbers we have seen so far, despite the many prevention strategies, syphilis affects a considerable part of the population and is facing a rising trend among the homosexual community. This indicates the need for funding, and we suggest our group receives the donation. The presented information clearly indicates the gap in the information available and requires further epidemiological research to keep syphilis under check.